Yes, an a cappella version of Purple Daily here. Daily Vikings Entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. It's Phil Mackey from an undisclosed hotel room with pretty good Wi-Fi, I'd have to say. I put it up against Judd's old Wi-Fi
Don't
pretty
jinx
much
it.
any day.
Yeah, well, that's not too
See
hard.
what happens.
But I've got new Wi-Fi now, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am ecstatic. And I would talk about them if they endorsed our show, but they don't.
They
so I'm
used
just
to,
going to tell
dude.
you.
They used to a long time ago.
They used to have a deal with Phil Mackey, as I remember.
Old Macadac was riding the internet and cable gravy train there for a few years.
I remember going to your place a few times to watch games. Let's just say nothing was paid for.
Two
well,
TVs
it was paid for, but nothing was paid for.
Back in the old 1500 ESPN days. But Mackie, Judd, our executive producer, Declan. The show is presented by Surly Brewing Company, and we'll talk more about the event on night one of the draft later in the show. And also TCL, one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands, with a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning, Stone Cold Steve's stunning resolution at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. One of the worst stunners ever taken by Vince McMahon on Sunday. Just an absolute abomination. So, anywho, this is the Wednesday edition here of the show where we admit that we were wrong, which people always ask, like, why didn't you guys ever admit? No, we literally do, probably more than we should professionally. We keep track of all sorts of – this is also the second time today here because we do write that down, classic version that I forgot to pop this up on the screen here for the YouTube audience. But here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you guys want to participate, like Rob is about to via satellite because of our setup here on this Tuesday evening, we are unable to bring Rob in live. You can hit us up via the Score North app. Just tap on the quick message tab at the very bottom of the screen, and we will get you scheduled and set up to compete in the arena that is Write That Down. All right, boys. The accountability sessions are going to be pretty sparse for the most part until like the draft. It's the off season, so there's not games coming off the board. Free agency is largely in the rear view mirror here. But let's start with Judd Zulgad. Nothing came off the board for you. Congratulations. You avoid.
I'll take it after that 2 weeks ago when just a bloodbath.
I had 2 things come off the board. I said at some point between now, meaning last week, or whenever I said this, a few weeks. I think I said this like a month ago, actually. Between then and April 1st, Judd will have something aggregated again because you had something aggregated early in free agency on Pro Football Talk. Highly disappointed in you. I don't know why. Yep. Did you get lazy? Like what happened?
Perhaps I knew about this.
Lazy Judd.
Perhaps I had found out about this and self-sabotaged to sabotage your pick.
So Florio had his finger over the publish button, and you were like, "Nah, dude, Mackey's got to write that down." Prediction.
Yeah, you take that off. You don't you do that.
You leave that in drafts, buddy.
No, Mike.
And then I said Mike Zimmer will get a defensive coordinator job at some point by April 1st. I mean, that dude has been radio silent. Somebody saw him in an airport.
Well, that's what we were told on Twitter, that somebody's friend sat by him in like the Delta Sky Club thing, but that's not even confirmed.
Yeah, do they still do it's free, quote unquote, right? You pay like $25 even if you have an Amex card or something, or a Delta card, right? Or is it just free to get in and free?
I never tried to do that.
It was like $25 even if you have
it's a fee to get in, and then I don't know if things are comped in there, but they are discounted, and it's like, topper shelf selection.
Just go to the airport bar.
I will report back the next airport trip just for the show on the Delta Sky Club.
Just
and get
go to the airport
like
bar and get hammered at the bar.
I do it every time.
Yeah, I know, but that's fine. You don't need to go to some special club. It's the airport. Go to the bar, meet some people.
Well, they do have good trail. They have good trail mix in the Delta. The Delta Club, not gonna lie. Whatever. If you can get the snacks and the drinks for free, it sort of balances
out. There's a BK right in the terminal. It's fine. It's good stuff.
All right, listeners had nothing come off the board. Declan, you had one thing. You said Eric Kendricks will be cut, traded, or have his contract restructured by April 1st. And he is the one veteran contract, unless I'm missing someone, that they've just not touched yet, right? They've either restructured or extended Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen, Danielle Hunter, Kirk Cousins. So we'll see what happens with with Eric Hendricks. So with that, the current statistics are Declan with a stranglehold on the completion percentage lead. You're at 37% to my 24.2%. Judd just a hair under 19%. Listeners at 18%. Declan with 3 tuds on the season. I have 1, and Judd and the listeners each have 2 touchdowns on the season.
I need a comeback. Okay.
Yeah, this is a rough one for you, man. Like usually you get off to hot starts and then
I know.
You're kind of like you're good with the scripted plays, and then when things get improvisational, you struggle.
This has been, I believe in the traditional, write that down. I want to say 4 years ago, I got off to a terrible start, never recovered.
Yeah.
Like I was tracking pitches at first, and then I couldn't stop tracking pitches.
You're just striking out looking every time. Yeah.
And now it's just Miguel Sano with the occasional bomb. It was very embarrassing.
So, all right, let's go via satellite here to our guest listener predictor, Rob. He also contributes to Zone Coverage, so we'll shout out some love for a fellow football media member here. So, what is Rob's first prediction here?
Hey guys, appreciate you having me on here. Purple Daily, Score North. Big fan of what you guys do. Taking a little break from my afternoon walk with the pooch over there, envisioning Cedar Lake without all the icy coverage. So looking forward to spring and summer. So let's get this thing rolling. My first prediction, write this down, fellas. Wan'Dale Robinson will be a day 2 pick in the 2022 NFL draft. I'm seeing far too many experts out here saying that Wan'Dale is going to be a round 4, round 5 pick. Wan'Dale is on a very exclusive list of receivers that caught 100 passes in the SEC. Say hi to Sebastian. On that list is Devontae Smith, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, and Jordan Matthews. All those guys were either first or second round picks. So Wan'Dale Robinson will be a day 2 pick in the NFL draft. Write that down.
Boom. Right. And Sebastian, who's a good boy?
Oh, look at that. Come on.
Who's a good boy?
Look at that good boy.
Sebastian.
All right.
I like it, man. Good stuff from Rob there. All right, Judd, your first prediction.
All right. Write this down. There will be no fewer than 3 trades made involving first-round picks during the week of the draft, and then ending by the end of round 1, which is, as we've discussed because of our Surly event, Thursday, April 28th. So the window is Sunday, April 24th, that's the start of the week, through Thursday, April 28th, that there will be no fewer than 3 trades made involving first-round picks.
Okay.
And I think the Vikings will be involved.
Can you say that all again? Because there's just a lot of information. My tiny little fingers can't count.
There will be no fewer than 3 trades made. Involving first-round picks during the week of the draft.
Confusing as F. Right?
During the draft. And the week of the draft.
Does this count? So this counts the draft, right?
This counts night 1 of the draft.
If there's a trade on Wednesday beforehand, and then there's 3 trades on draft night, then this is wrong, right? Okay. Just want to clarify.
Yes, but it starts on Sunday. Yes.
So you just don't think there's going to be that many trades?
There will be. Yes, there will be no fewer than. So there will be at least 3.
Oh, at least. I'm sorry.
There will be no fewer than 3 trades.
Got it.
So
okay.
There will be at least 3. There might be more. So no, I'm saying that there's going to be an abundance, and there already has been a movement.
The no fewer than, I think is hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but at least is very clear cut. No fewer than, and I have to think about it for a second. That doesn't say much about my University of Minnesota education.
That's not my problem, okay? I'm coming at this with a Harvard law degree, and write that down, okay? Your problems are not mine. All right.
All right, Declan, your first prediction. Did you get all? Declan, are you good here or what?
Yeah, I'm going to read it back because I really want to make sure this is correct. There will be no fewer than 3 trades made involving the first-round picks during the first week of the NFL draft.
No, during the week of, not first week.
There's only 1 week of the. How many weeks do you think there are of the draft?
Yeah, so during the week of the draft.
First week of the NFL draft.
During not the first week.
There's no first week. There's just a week. It's just draft week.
Where did the first thing come from? I heard first, and I wrote it down.
First round picks.
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you. Yep, got it.
Okay. All right. Glad we got that. I think there was more of a Declan Phil problem than a Judd problem there, but it's okay.
You're like Costner.
All right, Declan, your first prediction.
All right, my first pick. It's very simple. It's like 7 words, 8 words. I'm not even going to count it. The Vikings will take a quarterback on day 3 of the NFL draft. Write this down. The Vikings will take a quarterback on day 3 of the NFL draft. Write that
Quarterback?
down.
Okay.
Quarterback.
Yep.
QB.
Right.
And that's day 3 of the first week of the NFL draft.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
First week.
Wow. It's getting mean.
So I just want to clarify. I'm just here to
mean in here. Go
clarify. All right, write this down. So Randy in Cottage Grove is not necessarily a regular on Purple Daily. He's more of a Mackie and Judd contributor, but he is the biggest, most passionate, emotional Vikings fan we know. You can follow him on Twitter at RandyVike69. And his specialty, he's here to do 2 things: drink shots of Jägermeister and nail Vikings draft picks in mocks. Okay, so I think, by the way, I swapped a couple direct messages with our buddy Randy in Cottage Grove last week and said, dude, we haven't heard from you in a long time. Usually you come out with at least like your mock 1.0. He said, okay. Right. He's been crunching film around whatever the hell he does so he has literally nailed like 2 of the last 4 Vikings first round picks and a couple picks like after the first round too. Mm-hmm. So write this down. Couple things. First, off the record, he will join Mackie and Judd probably next week for his first mock draft. All right.
Okay.
Nice.
So that'll be great. But write this down. Randy in Cottage Grove will nail at least 1 Vikings draft pick at some point this season. Like he will correctly predict. He does a 7-round mock.
Right.
So he will predict correctly a Vikings draft pick in 2022. Okay. Write it down. I don't know how he does it. Mm-hmm. I don't know,
He's done it consistently, so it's probably a pretty good gamble.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, let's go back to our guy, Rob, here from Zone Coverage.
All right, next up on Write This Down. Rob Searle checking in here from Minneapolis, Cedar Lake with the Pooch, Sebastian. Write this down, gentlemen. The Minnesota Vikings will not select a corner with the 12th overall pick. And furthermore, the Minnesota Vikings will pass on Trent McDuffie with the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. Sorry, Declan. I know you have Trent McDuffie as the Vikings pick from a previous Write This Down submission. Unfortunately, I don't see that one coming to fruition for you. So write this down. The Vikings will pass on Trent McDuffie and every cornerback with the first round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft.
And by the way, I think so that last part, it got a little contradictory. I think we should hold him to the 12th pick.
Yes.
Because he said the 12th pick at first, but then at the end he said in the first round. Okay. I think we should hold him to the 12th
So
pick.
Here's my also potential issue with this. If Trent McDuffie isn't even on the board, is this already wrong? Like if he gets picked between 1 and 11.
He's saying he'll slide past 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that would be, yep.
He's wrong. Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, so Chris Sims, noted mocker and watcher of film, I believe I saw somewhere yesterday that he thinks the second cornerback won't come off the board until like the 20th pick or after.
Wow.
So that would be interesting.
That could be true. When the Vikings honestly, take the corner at 20.
Yeah, if you can trade, and we talked about that on yesterday's show if you haven't seen it, if the Vikings can trade back from 12 to 20 and still get one of those 3 cornerbacks and an extra first round pick in 2023, whoo-wee, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. So, all right, before we get to Judd here, let's talk real quick about where the audience should be and how much it costs to be there on Thursday, April 28th, the Surly Purple Daily Draft Party. 6 o'clock start time.
Yes, and first of all, the place that they should be, there's only one place, Surly Brewing Hall, which is on the border of Minneapolis, St. Paul. I looked it up, officially Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. But that's where folks should be. And let's see, what are they going to have to pay to come watch Phil Mackey, Judd Zolgad, Declan Goff?
$0.
To participate in not just a broadcast. This is not just a broadcast. This is a draft party. This is a draft party that will have participation from everybody who wants to participate. And yes, you just nailed the figure. Unlike many draft parties, let's say those hosted by a local National Football League team.
Does it cost money to go to that one? Does it really?
I believe there is a fee to get into that one.
Oh,
but you know what? We and Surly and our friends charge no fee. So yes, Doors open at 3 on April 28th, which is that Thursday. We start at 6, and to be clear, we will go until the draft is done. Surly, for the most part, closes at 9, but on this, or in this case, they are making an exception. So don't be concerned about that. They will be open until the draft is done. So come out, participate. It's going to be great fun. Giveaways as well. Lots of good stuff. More details to come. But make your plans now, Thursday, April 28th, to hang out with Mackie, Judd, and Declan.
Yes, we will be giving away a TCL TV as well, a smart TV. So you got to be there to win the TV. More details on that as the event comes closer. Also, a shout out to our friends at Dennis Kirk. They've been a partner of ours at Score North from the very start, going back 3 years ago. And if you're a motorcycle guy or gal, they've got what you need: parts, accessories, apparel, over 160,000 parts in stock, same-day shipping on orders placed before 8 p.m., rock solid service. All right. Ride more, wait less, DennisKirk.com. Back to Judd, your second prediction.
All right. With one of their 2 picks in the National Football League draft on Thursday, April 20th, appropriately enough, the New Orleans Saints will take a quarterback. So the Saints, who made a trade with Philadelphia on Monday and now have 2 first-round picks, will use one of those picks or a pick in the first round, because perhaps they'll take both those picks and try and move up, but they will take a quarterback, Declan Goff, in the first round.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that one. All right, Declan, you good there? Your keyboard's on fire with these Judd predictions here.
Yeah, I got it.
That one was as simple as I can't make that one any simpler.
Well, you could have, but yeah, no, that's okay. All right, my second prediction. Second prediction here. Write this down. As I almost whipped my laptop off the table. The Vikings will draft a wide receiver between rounds 1 through 5 in the NFL draft.
Okay.
The Vikings will draft a wide receiver between rounds 1 through 5. Yeah. Write that down.
It is, but like they already, I mean, they have 4 really good toolsy wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a standout position of need for the Vikings, but within the KOC and Sean McVay system, you can never have enough like athletic and great weapons. So, it's kind of a check down prediction here, because if there's a guy available, but I don't think they're drafting a receiver in the first round.
I agree with that, but they're going to put more of a priority if it comes down to a tight end or a receiver. I think that these guys will put more of a priority on a receiver. Where the old bosses probably would have been like, we got to get a tight end to replace Tyler Conklin. We need that guy who can block.
All right, write this down. So I'm gonna get out in front of this. I think the schedule release, like the order of the games, is like usually the 2nd or 3rd week in May, which is a blast, by the way. It's one of the most genius marketing promotions. So you guys already know who they're gonna play.
Doesn't matter.
Now we're gonna do a 3-hour primetime special unveiling the order in which they're gonna play those teams, and you can inject it into my veins, and we will probably do a live special for that too. But write this down. The Vikings, we will for sure do a live special.
Thank you very much.
The Vikings usually are one of the teams that gets like a handful of primetime games. Like they're just kind of, there's always a Packers primetime game in there, and then maybe like a Bears game. Write this down, however. The Vikings will have 3 primetime games or fewer when the schedule is released in May. Now, if that changes and they get flexed later in the year, I don't care about that right now.
Right.
So when the schedule is released, it'll be 3 primetime. I think they had 5 last year when it was released, and that counts the obligatory Thursday game, which is a nationally televised primetime game. So primetime meaning PM. It's going to be a nighttime game of some kind, like after 6 o'clock or whatever.
Yep.
So I think think about like the AFC West teams are going to be just stacked up and down prime time. The Cowboys always get prime time. I just think the league is going to look at the Vikings and say, you guys are just kind of, you're vanilla ice cream, man. We're excited for the season and we're to see what happens, but I think the rest of the league is going to be like, I don't know, it's just they're not like the most exciting team right now in the league.
So
they're going to have
three nighttime games, okay,
or fewer. That's correct. Yeah. All right. Back to Rob from Zone Coverage here, his 3rd and final prediction.
Okay, fellas. Last but most certainly not least, write this down. With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, Kevin O'Connell, and the new-look Minnesota Vikings will select a University of Georgia Bulldog front seven defender. These gentlemen will go by the name of either defensive tackle Jordan Davis, defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt, or linebacker Nakobe Dean. Write this down. The Minnesota Vikings will go Bulldog or bust with the 12th overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. And my own Pooch Sebastian approves of this decision, and the new look Vikings.
Love it, dude.
Sebastian's like, dude,
Great
let's
job, Rob.
resume the walk.
Yeah,
Like you could
please.
tell. Sebastian's like, what the hell are we doing here? Like,
Yeah, Rob's on like his 9th take recording that draft
Yeah.
take prediction. He's all right. Come on, we've been here for an hour. Let's go.
I agreed to stop for a little while. I did my business. Now let's get going, Rob.
Let's go. Rob, killer job, great work, and maybe some. So we're gonna do a mock-a day here on the show. Maybe some foreshadowing right there for today's
I like it.
mock-a day.
I like that
We'll
one.
get to that before the show is over. So nice work, Rob. We'll get those predictions on the books here, and back to Judd for your third and final.
All right, since I didn't have a prediction come off the board this week, I'm going to give you something that will come off the board by next Wednesday, so at least there's some fresh predictions. Anthony Barr will have signed with a team by next week's. Write that down. So by the time we get to next week's, which I believe will return to our regularly scheduled Wednesday appearance, Anthony Barr will have signed with a National Football League team.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's been nothing on him, right? I mean, just
Zero.
Radio silence.
I
Is there
feel
any
like-
chance he just winds up back with the Vikings on some 1-year deal? At this point, they've eaten so much. They're already eating the void money, though, right? So it just almost you'd
really
be
makes
paying
no
for him
sense.
twice, right?
It really makes no sense. But I mean, it certainly seems like he's going to end up on a very short-term cheap deal, right? It just
Yeah.
seems like that. So anyway, by next Wednesday, write that down, he will have signed with somebody.
Okay. All right, Declan, your third and final prediction here for the completion percentage leader.
All right, actually, I'm going to change things up, and I'm going to get something that comes off the board by next week as well. So I was telling Phil on Judd, I don't know if you saw this, but the XFL has a big announcement on Wednesday morning.
The XFL.
And
I-
now they're not playing until next spring, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
And I think they're like going through a completely re-image change. Like The Rock was teasing out like a new look image, but I think that's like too difficult to do for Write That Down. So I'm just going to say this instead, though.
Okay.
The XFL will announce a new team has joined their league for the upcoming season.
Okay.
So whatever the announcement is tomorrow, I am saying that there's a new team that's entering the fold that is currently not in the XFL.
So the old teams are all still part of the XFL
I
officially?
believe so. So a team that currently that the XFL was not in or wasn't a part of the XFL, there will be a new team that enters the league.
I'm just going to the official home of the XFL. That would be xfl.com.
And it's just a countdown clock.
Yeah, there's no like teams. It's just it's a 13-hour countdown clock with the old.
And I don't
new
even know
era
what
for
they-
the XFL.
Yeah.
So how do we quantify? So this is a new
Yeah.
team beyond the ones that were here 2 years ago.
So here's the 8 teams that were in the XFL last year: the Tampa Bay Vipers, the St. Louis Battlehawks, the New York Guardians, the DC Defenders, the Seattle Dragons, LA Wildcats, Houston Roughnecks, and the Dallas Renegades.
Okay, so we're assuming they're all back.
Yes.
Well, no, I don't think
Well,
we can
not
assume
necessarily.
any of
That's not part of my prediction. I'm saying
Okay.
a new team will be in the
Okay,
XFL.
but it has to be a new city, right?
a new city.
So-
A new city is
Yeah,
it,
a
it,
new
they
city.
just changed their team.
It can't
name,
be the.
That's
the,
fair.
We've
A new
changed
city.
Houston's name.
Yeah, a new city.
Okay,
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
A new team.
I just want to clarify it so we don't get bitten by your trying to skirt the very, very strict rules of Write That Down.
I'm just like, why do we need a listen? I love The Rock, and I'm all for these secondary football leagues. I think it's going to be a blast. Do we really need a third crack at the XFL? Like, do we really
I'm all
need
for
it?
it.
Like, it's a third
got
crack
the,
at the XFL.
We've got this springtime return this year, right? Of the USFL?
The USFL,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
At some point here
I'm
soon,
excited
right?
for that. I'm going to be making predictions. It'll be great.
So what's gonna? Okay, sorry for the Sixth Street here, but like, is the
Yeah,
what's
no worries.
ultimately is the USFL and or the XFL just going to be a clearing ground for practice squad caliber players, or is there a chance they could start to siphon off some of the best like 18 to 20-year-old players in the world and almost be like like what the G League kind of wants to be. Because if it's just going to be a bunch of
that's been tried
practice
before.
squad quarterbacks, I mean, I don't know.
That's been tried before and it's never worked.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can there's not enough quarterbacks to make that league compelling. But I'm still gonna watch probably. Who am I to?
What was
too much?
The league that we were all excited about a couple of years ago that Rami crapped on and ultimately was proven right. AAF, yeah.
The Alliance of American Football or something.
Yeah, the quarterbacks were like former Vikings and stuff, right? Who's the guy who played who had the big arm in training camp for the Vikings?
And we all Bethel Thompson.
Yes, yeah, and he was playing.
Random Viking.
And then Philip Nelson was playing for like San Diego and made some incredible pass.
Yeah, good kicks.
But I mean, the quarterbacks just aren't good enough to make it.
Yeah,
I thought one of the new leagues though had a relationship with the National Football League, like they were going to be aligned with them in some way, shape, or form. Didn't I read that?
Well, the NFL is using the XFL for like rule stuff.
That's what it is.
That has been announced. Seaford had that
that's
what
at the
beginning of the year.
That's what I forgot. Yeah.
All
right. Mine's going. Doesn't matter anymore.
All right. Am I getting choppy here? Am I getting choppy, or is it just
you're a little choppy because you bragged about your connection, and now it's all gone to hell, Phil.
I know, man. I jumped the gun. So, all right, I'm gonna. If you guys can hear me here, okay, I'm gonna make my third and final prediction and say that my guy, I'm contractually obligated to continue to say his name.
Oh God,
my guy, J.C. Treader, will sign with somebody between now and next week's Write That Down. It's been radio silent so far, but J.C. Treader will sign with someone between now and next week's Write That Down.
Okay.
It can happen. And I would be fine if it was the Vikings and Garrett Bradbury became just a backup swing interior offensive lineman.
But you're not predicting the Vikings. You're just saying, like I do with Barr, you're just keeping it open-ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So there you have it. Those are your Write That Down predictions here. Judd, why don't you tell the audience why you have chiseled abs right now?
Oh, in fact, you know what? I'll stand up and show you. No, I'm just joking about that. I won't do that. But I will say that I have lost approximately 40 pounds thanks to my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. And I have an offer for you right now so that you can drop those pandemic pounds, lose the weight, have your clothes fit by summer, get 25% off the program plus 35 meals for free. That's right, 25% off the program, 35 meals for free. Livia.com, 855-GO-LIVEA. If you're in town here, join up, stop in at, I believe there are 6 locations throughout the Twin Cities. If you're not in town and you're a Purple Daily listener, and we appreciate that, and you live in, I don't know, the South or the West or the East, and you're like, I can't join. Yes, you can, because those same registered dietitians can talk to you virtually, can get you your food. The program is as simple, folks, as it gets. The maintenance is fantastic. Livia.com, LIVEA, 855-GO-LIVIA. 35 meals for free, 25% off the program. Look, if I can lose the weight, so can you. And I've got the solution, Livia, to lose that weight. Phil's frozen.
All right.
Now Phil's back. Well, at least it's at the end. At least this well, now we've lost Phil.
No, it's okay. I bet he might be jumping in and jumping back out is probably.
Oh, okay. Because we got a mock draft coming up.
We got a mock draft that we got to get into.
A mock a day.
So it's still mock draft season. I love mock draft season. And this is, we're at the last month here. We got people rising up, falling down from boards.
I like mock drafts. They're great fun.
Mm-hmm.
Not pulling any punches here. This first round is not sexy.
No.
Like, it's got defensive ends, which is awesome. But I really enjoy a draft with skill position excellence. Wide receivers, quarterbacks. I can't wait till the 2023 mock drafts when we are speculating on quarterbacks. We're trying to be like, could a quarterback be, or 2 maybe be in the top 10? That's not how this should work, Phil Mackey.
Yeah,
it's how this should work.
It's a lot of meat and potatoes. It's a lot of trenches. In fact, and we have to do this a cappella here. We don't have the I want a mock. There you go. I just gave it to you.
Mock.
I want to mock.
Mock.
Like so this one is from an oldie but a goodie, and I don't think they've updated the format of their website since they took the mock draft universe by storm in like 2002. Okay. WalterFootball.com.
You don't need to update excellence. You never need to touch excellence.
Dude, This is straight out of a GeoCities template for a website, and I love it. Oh, by the way, you can enjoy pure Walter football with no advertisements for just $8 a month if you want. There's a link to click on. So I don't know. Like, do they have so many advertisements on Walter football that you just like have to pay the $8 a month? I don't know, but it's an option for you guys. So they've got a 5-round mock posted right now. Let's start with the first round here. All right. And then we'll kind of see where this conversation goes. By the way, a mock a day here leading up to the draft on Purple Daily. And to this point, the Vikings have selected in the mocks that we have done most recently. Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher from Florida State, has been picked twice to the Vikings. Cornerback Trent McDuffie twice to the Vikings. Cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. once to the Vikings, and once was a trade. There was a trade that we saw on NFL.com yesterday where the Vikings trade back to 20th. So the number one pick, according to WalterFootball.com, the free ad-supported version, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end Michigan, to the Jaguars. Trayvon Walker, defensive end Georgia, to the Lions at number 2. It's interesting. Evan Neal, offensive lineman Alabama, to the Texans at 3. Kayvon Thibodeau, number 4, to the Jets. He's the edge rusher from Oregon. Aquanu, the offensive tackle from North Carolina State, to the Giants at 5. Kenny Pickett, first quarterback off the board, to the Panthers at 6. Sauce Gardner, cornerback Cincinnati, to the Giants at 7. And then Jermaine Johnson goes 8, the edge rusher from Florida State, to the Falcons. So he's off the board. Charles Cross, offensive tackle Mississippi State, to the Seahawks at 9. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback LSU, to the Jets at 10. Kyle Hamilton, safety Notre Dame, to Washington at 11. And that leaves the Vikings at pick 12, according to WalterFootball.com, to select our guy Rob from Zone Coverage. Write that down. Crystal Ball is correct. They take Jordan Davis, defensive tackle from Georgia. Very interesting. So here is the write-up. The Vikings have lost plenty of defensive line talent in recent years. They'll need to replenish the front if they want a chance at beating Aaron Rodgers twice. Jordan Davis was a monster in the 2021 season debut against Clemson, continued to dominate this year, and continued to improve his draft stock with a 4.78 40 time at the combine. So meat and potatoes.
Do you have a height and weight on him in the mock or no?
Walter football makes me click through for the height and the weight. 6'6", 340 pounds, dude. Okay. 6'6", 340 for this
eater,
guy.
Though we're talking space eater, not heater. Space eater. Just eats up all the space, eats up all the food and the space. In a 3-4, I can't rip it.
So could you do philosophy. Okay? Let's say you made this pick here. I'm going to ask you. Maybe you have an answer for this on the 3-4 front. So could your 3 down linemen in the base defense be Jordan Davis, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Harrison Phillips, and then you have Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter as stand-up linebackers, quote unquote.
Right.
But then wouldn't one of them always have to be dropping back into coverage? Or would you just send 5 on a regular basis? I mean, that's the tough part.
Well, no, but they've
you do there.
No, but they've made it clear. See, there are going to be times to disguise. I love talking football.
Oh my God. Going to be times I missed the football sounder. I don't have
the disguising of the defensive packages will have Hunter and Smith at times drop back into coverage.
Yeah.
So like you could bring those guys. Here's my thing. If you're going to do that, I don't think you need to take Jordan Davis at 12. I think you trade back.
Well, but if you think Jordan Davis is like, this is the thing, Dalvin Tomlinson might not be on the team in a year.
Right.
And Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter are like contractually unstable after 2022. So this is the thing. Like if you're just drafting for this year, maybe he's not the perfect fit. But if you're drafting the best player available for the next 5 years and he's number 1 on your board at 12, like that's what they're going to have to balance with this draft.
But wouldn't you prioritize getting a potential second first-round pick for 2023 and taking your chances a little bit on that player?
I would, yes.
Me too. So like I'm thinking here of the future, and I'm thinking that I want to be positioned in 23 to have at least 2 first-round picks. So I'd prefer to take my chances, trade back to like 20. And if Davis is there, I'll grab him at 20. If not, I will still get a good player. But more importantly, I'll be really well positioned then for the quarterback draft when I think it becomes very feasible without creating any problems at all to draft Kirk's replacement.
Okay, I don't even know why I'm asking this question, but do you guys want the second round of WalterFootball.com's 2022 mock draft? Do you guys want it?
Why would
How
you
bad
ask
do you
that?
want it?
Why would you ask that?
How bad do you want it?
Because it's draft time. Yes, of course I do. And from Wally Football, or as I call him, Wally FB, damn straight I want it.
Wally FB. You know, maybe we should spring for the $8 a month ad-free package. There's a ton of pop-ups here.
Charge it to the company. Charge it to the
Can you imagine our business office? What is this $7.99 charge for WalterFootball.com?
Oh, our business office have no problem with that. No,
yeah, they're super open-minded. All right, let's see here. Let's scroll to the Vikings at pick 46. Oh my God. Oh my
Sounds
God.
like it was worth it.
I did not see this beforehand. Are you serious? Bury the lead. Okay, what do you think I'm oh my godding for right now?
They took a quarterback.
Yeah.
They took a quarterback. Oh my God, they took a quarterback.
Desmond Ridder, quarterback,
Wow,
Cincinnati.
dude.
The Vikings spent a third-round pick on Kellen Mond last year, but he appears to be a sunk cost. Desmond Ridder impressed this year. He's shown an improved ability to work through progression, and he's good at using his feet to extend plays. So, dude, that would be fascinating. Okay. Yep. What if they trade back? Oh my God, no. I mean, I was gonna say, what if they trade back and they still draft? But if they trade back to get ammo for next year's draft, then you should just wait till next year to draft a quarterback.
Right.
It's hard to justify drafting a quarterback this year because you don't get the value of the rookie scale contract until 2024, and by then he's halfway through it. So,
and if you don't take one, if you draft a quarterback in the third round, it's a 4-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're really expediting the contract because there's no 5th-year option contained. Here's my advice, though, Wally Football. If you're going to do a mock draft, put at least one quarterback in the top 10.
Well, no. Why should he feel odd if he feels like
quarterback in the top 10?
I disagree. I mean, listen, no, you should
put a quarterback in the top 10.
You should mock with your heart, dude. Mock that. You should mock the truth.
Because somebody's going to panic and grab one. Somebody always does now.
Or
somebody's going to
trade
panic and grab it. Yeah. So put a damn quarterback in the top 10 to make it more compelling to me.
In the third round, he's got the Vikings taking defensive end Virginia Tech Amari Barno. So just loading up on defensive line here.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's possible.
It's amazing, man. Okay, I'm just curious now. I want to see, like, you know, he's on a roll here. So
hold on a second. I'm going to get a pillow.
Fourth round. Let's see here. WalterFootball.com. Oh my gosh. Or did the Vikings? Am I spacing here? Did they trade their 4th-round pick?
Yeah, to the Jets.
So, that's right.
For Herndon.
Oh my God, that's right. That was a great trade. He caught 2 passes.
Chris Herndon was fantastic.
Touchdown.
Great.
Yeah, he did catch touchdown.
Okay, 5th round here, and then we can say goodbye to WalterFootball.com until tomorrow. He's got them taking offensive tackle Wisconsin, Logan Bruss. That's a great offensive line
position?
Name. Tackle. Tackle. But maybe he might. But he probably. It says he's likely going to move to guard in the NFL, and he's going to sound like a guard with a name like Logan Bruss.
If that kid didn't grow up on a farm, something's wrong with life. Logan
he's going to provide front line protection for Kirk Cousins or Kellen Mond or somebody or Sean Mannion in a preseason game, just like Federated Insurance provides frontline protection for your business with risk management tools and resources. Also, April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, so your friends at Federated ask you to please drive safely, not just this month, but all the time. We can be much more aware on the roads, put the phone down, etc. And Federated has all sorts of tips and tools for being a better, safer driver at federatedinsurance.com. All right, boys, heck of a mock session right there. Thanks to Wally FB. And those are the Write That Down predictions, too, in the accountability session. Hit us up on Thursday, April 28th at Surly Brewing Company. We'd love to meet as many of you guys as possible and cheers as many beers as possible without getting ourselves in too much trouble. So
no charge.
Mark your calendars. Yeah, it's
free to get in.
Free to get in. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.